All right, hi. Welcome to week, what is it, week 4? Week 4, Inktober. My sketchbook is a bit weird right now. I'll show you why in a minute. But I want to get to, wait a minute, where's my schedule? All right, we're doing 21 through 27. So let me find, that's 22, so this is 21. Okay. All right, I'm going to take this out. I just don't want to put the page down yet. Okay, this is, I can put that down. Day 27, this is not blood, this is paint. Day 21 is Blanket Fort. I was kind of, it was, the idea of a blanket fort was not something I wanted to paint. And then I thought, oh, I could stick a cat under a blanket. That's a blanket fort. Murphy does that. So that's little kitty under a blanket on the bed. Let me tell you what did I use for this? I used the Jane Davenport inks as far as, and a liner. I think that's all I used on this, pretty much. So this is day 22. This is Forest is the prompt. This is from Let's Make Art. This is a Sarah Cray picture. It's for her Halloween gouache set, and I did buy that set, and I am going to be doing that in a future video. But I like the idea of it, so I did it in ink. So it's just these 3 little ghosts like floating through a forest. I really like the way the trees came out, so that you can, it kind of looks like it's, you know, going back in space. Yeah, so this was Jane Davenport. Probably all of them were, except the white was that Holbein white that I always use. And I used a little bit of, I think I took white and put a little bit of yellow and then kind of dabbed it so that it looked like kind of firefly-ish kind of look. That was that one. This is day 23 is Lily Pad. This is that pretty Jane Davenport ink. It's called Moby Dick. It's just this gorgeous bluish purplish color. It's my favorite. So I did that for that. I think I did another Jane Davenport for all of these actually, and I used white, the Holbein to do the flower on there, and I used a little bit of liner for outlining. All right, this is, I've been waiting for this thing in the back to dry all day, but it's slow drying. So day 24 is Cemetery Picnic. So my idea was to have little skeleton hands coming up out of the ground with Murphy just came in, with a little cup and a sandwich. So they're having a little picnic. I used that pretty Timu ink again for the sky. The only thing I don't like about it is that no matter how dry it is, it will still run. So when I put the, all right, go ahead. When I put whatever I used to do the original tombstone, it just bled and it was all blue, and I was like, oh my god, how am I gonna fix this? So I took some, trying to think of what I used. I think I just took some white, the white ink, and I mixed it with some black to make it gray, and I just did like a thicker coat over where the blue had kind of mixed. So it covered it pretty much. For this, I'm not sure what I used. I think I might have used one of my Sennelier ink brush pens, and I kind of smudged it kind of with a brush. And I used a liner to draw in there. And these colors, I'm not sure. All right, so day 25 was Fairy Door. I don't know if it looks like a fairy door. This looks strange because it looks like I was trying to get the lines to look all the same, and it kind of looks like this one goes sideways and the other one goes up and down. But yeah, it's just a little tree. I put some little flowers on here. I used Jane Davenport ink there. I used markers. No, not markers. The Singulair brush pens on the tree. I used my new Stabilo pens. I used those for the flowers. I used some sparkly ink for the gold. So that was that. What's next? Okay, now this is the trouble piece here. So then, let's see, day 26 was Toadstool. Did the typical, you know, red, I don't know what they are. They're just like the mushroom that everybody draws. Trying to think what I used. I think I used the Pentel art brush pens for this. Because I can see it, it kind of spreads a little bit. I used the white ink for that. I used some liner to give it some shadow and the grass. This is not my favorite, but they can't all be winners. So this one is what came out really bad. This is day 27, and it's fireflies. And I tried to, I made a jar, and I put little circles in it to represent the fireflies. And I thought, oh, I'm going to put in some of that. It's not invisible ink, is it? It's UV kind of ink, so it's invisible when you put it down, but when you shine a UV light on it, it glows. So I tried it, and I messed it up. I did, oh God, it looks awful. I put white ink down in a circle, and then I put the UV ink on top of it, and it just kind of disappeared. I mean, it glowed a little bit. Here, let me, light. So, I mean, you can kind of see it a little bit, but it's really bad. So then, it was too late to really do anything else. So then I drew like a little firefly shape in like a black pen, and that looked weird. So I put white over it again. I put the UV ink over it again, and it still turned out like a big mess. So I hated it, and I thought, I'm just gonna redo it. So I redid it, but it's still wet. So it's pretty similar. I don't have a frame on it, so it's bigger. But I tested beforehand here different ways to do it. If I put the UV ink on first, if I put it on after, how does it react with different markers? So I ended up figuring it out, which I should have done in the first place. So what I did was I had left the page blank in those circles where I put the ink. And then I ended up coloring it with one of my Pitt pens. So I ended up using one of these Pitt pens, and I colored in the circle, and then I put the UV ink on top of that. And then I also kind of brush flicked it around the background so that it kind of looks starry. So I'm just gonna shut the light off and show you what it looks like. So see, it's still not great, but it looks kind of like fireflies, and there's some like stars in the background. So that's what all the big deal was about, but I don't know if it was worth all the trouble it put me through. So that is the end of week. It's still a little bit wet. I think I'm gonna put a paper towel there, just in case. So I think I only have 3 left. I have treehouse, Halloween decorations, and trick or treat. So I kind of loosely drew out something in pencil. I'm gonna have to go back in with ink and finalize it, and then, you know, I usually draw it out with pencil, then I use a liner to draw it out, and then I put the ink on. I paint ink on. So, hope that was interesting. Thanks for watching. That was week 4. I'm going to just do the last 3 on the 31st. I'll just post a short video of the last 3. And then I'll do another video on Friday. All right. Thanks for watching. I will see you in, I don't know, 4 days on Halloween. Okay, thanks, bye.